Hi, my name is Geert Van Gele and I would like to discuss how to choose a recorder. This video is part of a series that accompany the iBook Thoughts on the Recorder, which is available through my webshop kattenberg.net. You can find the link in the description, and I have also included a clickable link at the end of this video if you want to learn more about it. Before you go out to buy a recorder, it's a good idea to determine in which category you find yourself. Are you a beginning or an intermediate recorder enthusiast, which I would call level 1? When you have been playing for a number of years and are able to perform the great recorder sonatas from the Baroque period, I would consider you having an advanced level or level 2. The third level is this of the pre-professional or professional player. Recorders don't keep any secrets from you, and you know who you are. When you are a beginning or intermediate player, I think everyone would agree that your best bet is to start with a factory-built instrument. These are the instruments that are readily available in specialized stores. They will carry brands like Muck, Mollenhauer, Aura, Yamaha, and others. When you find yourself in one of these shops, I would advocate to limit your searches to the softer woods of the different brands. These are often also the woods that have a lighter color. The reason for this I'll explain later. Whatever instrument you end up buying, make sure that it has Baroque fingerings. If you don't, you'll end up with an instrument that's practically useless due to several tuning issues. First of all, when you find yourself in a store, you want to try out different instruments and compare the sound. Which sound appeals more to you? Do you feel attracted to a certain instrument? As an example, let me show you the differences between a couple of instruments from the same brand. Basically, these are identical instruments made from different kinds of woods. Let me start with an instrument made out of boxwood. Instrument made out of ebony. Again, the one from boxwood. I'll do the same test with some tenor instruments. First off, I'll play on a maple tenor. Ebony. Again, the maple one. I think you'll find that these instruments are pretty similar to one another. As a third comparison test, I will play two instruments from the same wood, but from different makers. I think you will decide with me that the differences are really small, and mostly it'll depend on the taste of the player. By the way, it doesn't make any difference if you are an absolute beginner if you start on a soprano instrument or an alto instrument. Young children will not be able to stretch their fingers to cover the finger holes of the alto recorder, but otherwise there are plenty of good playing methods published for either starting on the soprano or the alto. When you are trying out different instruments, you may want to check some technical details like the tuning of the octaves, the overall ease of playing all the notes. Check primarily the top register for this. Let me give an example of this. I'll take the same two alto instruments from different builders. Here one. I'll give an example of the octaves. If you would check with a tuner, all of the notes should be within a range of more or less 20 cents. By itself, this is a pretty wide range, but due to the nature of the recorder, the player will be able to correct the tuning within this range with the breath pressure. Now, if this all sounds too daunting for you, or you have no idea how to judge this, you may very well trust the quality control of the factory for this. These days, the recorders coming out of the factory are really reliable. It used to be that you would have to pick and choose among a multitude of instruments before you would find a decent one, but those days are far gone. As mentioned, I would strongly advise against getting a hardwood instrument like ebony or grenadille or even palisander. I have two reasons for this. First of all, an ecological reason. Hardwoods are so dense that they grow really slowly, which means that they need several hundred years of growing before maturing. Because of this, you won't find any plantations of hardwood trees, and these trees are cut in the wild, often illegally, and often in the process whole woods are destroyed in order to cut down and retrieve one of these trees. There is a video online, of which I will put a link in the description, about the Taylor Guitar Factory, who actually owns what is somewhat the last official ebony cutting place in Cameroon, Africa. According to this video, it's the last place on earth where there is still commercial logging of ebony. All the other ebony in the world has been cut. Now, you see me playing several ebony instruments here. As an excuse for this, for owning all these recorders, I bought these recorders long before I had any knowledge about the state of these trees in the world. And it would be not very ecologically to get rid of these recorders at this point. There is another reason not to buy these hardwoods as well, in case you need further convincing. As a beginning recorder player, it takes several years before your sound production is up to snuff. This is normal because you need to develop a deep connection with the instrument. In the process of your development, it's more likely than not that you will destroy an instrument due to the fact that you go well beyond the limits of the instrument. Mainly by not blowing properly, an instrument will get ruined. In the second chapter of my book, I have an in-depth report on how to develop your sound in 3 stages, if you would be interested. So, which woods would be advisable for your recorder? I would suggest to stick to woods like maple and boxwoods, and other woods like fruit trees. Here's the maple one, and here's the maple one, and this is the boxwood one. These woods are easily available, they pose no ecological threat, and when you talk about maple and boxwood, these woods are historically the woods which were used back in the days to produce the best instruments ever made. Even today, artisanal recorder builders will turn towards these woods in order to make their choice instruments. If you consider to buy a second-hand instrument which is factory made, I urge you to be very careful with this. More often than not will you end up with an instrument that has been played beyond repair, so to speak, for the reason that I just mentioned. In case you pick up such an instrument and you immediately are convinced about its qualities, I would say go ahead and purchase it. Otherwise, I would refrain from it. Don't forget to take plenty of time to play in your newly acquired instrument also. Only then will you be able to enjoy your recorder to the fullest. Check out video 4 for more on this. And that's it for now. If you follow the link, you can watch the next video on how to choose a recorder when you are an advanced player. Thanks for watching.